Welcome to the HuntFishTravel podcast, the first and longest running female hosted hunting podcast. When she's not tiptoeing across 10 inches of hard water searching for the perfect place to ice fish, she's helping you navigate your trip of a lifetime. And now, here's your hostess, Carrie Zilka.
Welcome to the HuntFishTravel podcast. I am your hostess here on this fun day. It's snowy up here in Wisconsin, and we are going to have a great interview today because we've got Cindy Burzinski and Brian Scheid, who are representatives of the Vilas County Tourism Bureau, and we're going to talk about some snowmobiling and why Vilas County is amazing. It's one of my favorite areas, and for you snowmobilers, you're definitely going to want to tune in because we're going to talk about an app that's going to make your life oh so much easier. So, Cindy and Brian, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Hello.
So let's talk a little bit about Vilas County. Now, one of my favorite, and I did an episode about fishing in Boulder Junction a couple years ago. I was just going to say not too long ago, but I've been around for a while. So it was actually quite a few years ago now that I think about it. And it was probably one of my all-time favorite fishing trips of my life. And, of course, you've got Eagle River up there and Phelps and Star Lake. When we were a kid, we used to go up to Star Lake. Tell the listeners why, other than my fangirling there, why they should visit your area.
Oh, my gosh, there's so many reasons. First of all, we have over 1,300 lakes, 73 rivers and streams, 250,000 acres of public forest. We are basically a recreation paradise, outdoor recreation paradise. We have something for everybody.
Yes.
So if you're looking for boating, hiking, swimming, canoeing, kayaking, snowmobiling, ATVing, we offer all of it. And most of it goes through wooded areas, which makes it absolutely beautiful.
Awesome.
Other than that, we also have cute little communities that offer shops, amazing restaurants, and wonderful little ice cream shops, and also some shopping. So you can curl up by a fire if it's chilly outside and just sit inside and read a book or just watch the snow fall, or maybe it's a rainy day, or you can just go out for some wonderful supper club dining.
How many supper clubs? Okay, so ironically on Twitter, Facebook, etc., one of the biggest questions I'm asked about Wisconsin in general is, what supper club are you going to? Because that's our thing. How many supper clubs are in Vilas County, do you think?
I don't know how many there are. I know that every community has one.
There's a
and
lot
they're
of them.
all a little bit different. And you walk in, and it's just a friendly, cozy feeling. It's just something that you really can't explain other than cozy and friendly.
I know, supper clubs
and
are so Wisconsin.
They are. And people are happy to see you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
they're reasonably priced. You get amazing food, great drinks. Some of these newfangled bars and stuff, and I'm like, you guys just don't even know how to make an old-fashioned.
Yep, and that's the fun thing about it, too, is the supper clubs have bars along with them, and so you can have a nice drink, sit down. If it's a chilly evening, again, most of them have fireplaces or stoves for fire, and it's a wonderful, wonderful dining experience. And the food, oh my gosh, so delicious.
Right.
And there's no shortage of it.
And it's always like good steaks and prime ribs and stuff, and you're not paying $70 for a T-bone. It's wonderful.
Right. So those are just some of the reasons to visit.
So let's talk a little bit about snowmobiling. We're recording this towards the end of February, so we're coming up on the end of the snowmobiling season, but this is the time when everybody's got the bug and they're thinking about next year. They're thinking about where they might want to go, because a lot of these resorts, especially in the winter, they fill up. It's no joke up here. So tell us about the snowmobiling in Vilas County.
Well, what we have is over 600 miles of trails groomed throughout the area. They can take you to those establishments for dinner and drinks, and the nice thing about it is we have 11 snowmobile clubs in the state that take care of the trails. all the way from south of Eagle River all the way up to Presque Isle, Manitowish Waters, stuff like that, St. Germain, are all part of the Vilas County Snowmobile Alliance. So you speak that it's kind of the end of the season, but unfortunately, it's really just getting started with as much snow as we're seeing right now. So we've had times throughout the years that trails have been closed right now because we've had warm-ups and they never reopen. So we're very fortunate that we're getting the snow now. So it's some of the best snowmobiling that we've seen in many, many years.
So if you've got a free weekend this weekend or next weekend, head on up north.
It's the time.
Oh, it is. It is the time. And it's kind of hard to find a place to stay because everyone's got the same idea. Yep. And thank you to people like Brian and all of the trail bosses that are continually out there making sure the trails are in pristine condition. And so when you've got that many miles of trails, these guys work really hard, and they have to have a passion for what they do because our trails are amazing. And you can spend all day on the trails just in Vilas County.
Yeah. To explain to me, I'm not familiar. I don't own a snowmobile. What is a snowmobile club? Like, what is its purpose? How do you join? And if, say, I live in Milwaukee, can I join a club up in Vilas County?
Yeah, we have many members from all over the country. Some, most of them, I should say, live in Wisconsin, the Midwest, Illinois, Iowa, and sometimes they belong to multiple snowmobile clubs. To get a discount on a trail pass, now in Wisconsin, you have to belong to a club. You get a discounted rate on that trail pass, and so people don't just belong to one. Some people belong to multiple, because of the area they live in or the area they follow. But it's really easy for almost every club in Vilas County. Most of them have a website, most of them have social media. On Sno-Eagles.org, you can get your membership and your trail pass information right there. So it's really easy to do now.
All right. That's interesting. I guess I didn't realize that you could not live in the area and still be a member of the Snowmobile Club.
Yep. We take members as far as that. I mean, we know members in Texas and Florida and all over the place. I come up here they have a cabin here, or they have a previous house or family here, and they come up for three or four visits throughout the year, and they come snowmobile, and then they come and go just because they got a second home here, or they're just snowbirds.
Gotcha. Interesting. So, and how many miles of snowmobile trails did you say Vilas County has?
Just over 600. We groom almost 100 miles nightly in Eagle River. We run 3 groomers 5 nights a week, and we try to cover almost every mile of the trail when we can. We're trying to keep up with all the snow we're having right now, which is sometimes difficult, but we're not complaining. It's nice to have the snow right now.
It is. And did you know we're expecting another storm Saturday night going into Sunday?
For real? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
12 to 18 inches.
To the party. She's late to the party this year.
It was a slow start, and we were worried about it, and then all of a sudden it just came.
What is the economical impact when you guys don't have a lot of snow, or if you have snow late in the season? We were going to come up for Christmas and just maybe rent a snowmobile, and she was like, don't bother, we have no snow. Don't even bother. And I was like, oh, that sucks. So obviously that's food I didn't buy, drinks I didn't drink, hotel stay I didn't stay in. What is the economical impact when you have a bad year like that?
Well, I think we see, the businesses that support the Snowmobile Club, we talk to them, we know them, they support us. And it's unfortunate when you lose an entire week between Christmas and New Year's because the trails are closed, or they're not open yet, or they're not great, or whatever. And that was the case this year. But I think they're making it up right now, and they'll have their good times and bad times, and the businesses are very strong up here. They kind of have tough skin when it comes to making it through the tough times in the seasons of change, we call it. Yeah. So they're fine, and it's unfortunate we lost a Christmas week, but they're getting the rebound right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
And what happens with that on the tourism side is a lot of times we'll have snow, not enough for snowmobiling, but we'll have enough for cross-country skiing. This year we promoted hiking heavily because that was still something you could do. And a lot of people just like being outdoors. Yeah. The unfortunate side to it, like Brian said, is that you miss the motorized sports, the snowmobiling, because they're fun, but sometimes you just have to go to something different.
Yeah. In December was a great time to ice fish up here because the lakes had not seen a lot of snow and the lakes were frozen, and it was some people got that in early, late in December and before the snowmobiling even started. So there's other things to do besides snowmobiling, of course.
Of course. Oh yeah, you guys have tons of stuff up there. So talk to me about this app. So the last time I went snowmobiling, I don't know, I forget what app I downloaded. It wasn't very good. It was okay, I don't know. But then I just ended up using Google Maps to kind of figure out which direction to head in so I didn't get lost. Because you can get lost real quick up there. If you're not familiar with the snowmobile signs or trail crossings or just generally where you are, you can get pretty lost up in the big woods. So tell me about this app that you guys have created.
Well, the app was released in 2014, and the main goal for the app was to make visitors more comfortable when they were out on our trails. Because sometimes you get out there, like you said, and you're in a large forested area, and you do get easily confused. And we wanted to make sure the app was accurate as far as the mapping. So all of the mapping for the app came right out of our county mapping department, and the GPS information that was taken by the users, the trail groups themselves. Anyway, the nice thing about the app, as far as snowmobiling goes, is that it's got the trail intersection numbering system on it. Now, that's something that the clubs worked with our sheriff's department and put together. So if there's an accident out on the trail, then it actually, they can look up on their phone what trail intersection number they're close to so that emergency services can find them. But we also wanted them to know when they use our app, we have highlighted the different clubs by color so that they know what area they're in, and it just follows them on the trail. Or if they open the app when they're not in that specific area and then they put down where they want to be, it'll take them to that area. Now, away from snowmobiling, because I'll let Brian follow up with that a little bit after I say a few more things. But anyway, the app itself, we wanted all trail systems on it. So we started with the silent sports. We started with biking, hiking, paddling, all of those sports. And we found that it was very heavily received. People were very happy with it. So then we went on and added our equestrian. And then we added on, and this is over the years, and then we added our ATV, UTVs, and snowmobiling. And so the app will help anyone who wants to use any type of trail. It will follow them on the trail. The amazing thing is all of the trails have a PDF version that you should download on your phone first. If you're using it and you lose cell signal, it shouldn't really affect what you're doing. You've got the PDF version as backup, but when we beta tested it, we shut the cell off on our phone, and it actually kept going along with us. And so it's just to make the user more comfortable with being out in the woods, whether it's snowmobiling, ATVing, riding their horses, anything like that. And it also gives them, the app lists the distances, so they can choose a trail according to distance. They can choose something according to their activity level. They can choose a trail according to, I want to take my dog with me. So that filter option is there. And it even allows people to filter for accessibility. And so the trail we have found, the app we have found is quite well received. So far this year, we've had, not this year, but so far to date, we've had over 15,000 downloads.
Wow.
And then I'll let Brian follow up with, the use of it as far as snowmobiling goes.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, the best features that I like on the app are you can tell when you're in a different snowmobile club area. There'll be different colors. So purple is indicated as Phelps. Green is indicated as Vilas County, Eagle River, The pink area is Conover, blue is Land O'Lakes. So it kind of gives you an indication of where you are in the region of the snowmobile clubs. It's helpful that the app includes the highways and the Highway 70, Highway G, stuff like that around where the trails are. So if you come into an emergency, you're not far from finding a major road. And like Cindy said, the county several years ago developed what they call a TIN system, TIN, and it is the brown signs on intersections that indicate a 3-digit number. And that is used for mostly emergency response if there is an accident on the trail. So it's all easy to use and follow, and it's a great addition to what Vilas County gives the guests that come here an avenue of knowing where they are on the trails.
That's awesome. It's a really beautiful app. I've kind of been putzing around on it, obviously, in preparation for this interview. It's really, really a nice app.
Well, thank you. We've tried our best, and we tried to cover, by working with the trails, the trail builders, we have tried our best to get the app that it's most informative to the user, things that people look for when they're going out on the trail.
Excellent. So what sort of activities and events do you guys have coming up? Do you have any snowmobiling events or activities coming up the next couple of weekends?
Our next event in Vilas County, or I should say in Eagle River that I can speak of, is we're having our annual Ride with Pride drawing raffle that is this Saturday at noon at Trackside. It's one of our largest fundraisers for the Sno-Eagles this year. The second thing that's coming up and pretty big is the snowmobile race March 8th and 9th at the World Championship Derby Complex for ice oval racing and the enduro race on the ice. So those are some of the big things that I know about in our area, and maybe Cindy can elaborate on other things that are going on. I know there's events every weekend now. We've got past President's Day, so those big events, the radar runs and stuff like that, are all over with for the season. But there always is something going on with the Snowmobile Club throughout the rest of the year.
That's exactly it, Brian. And the snowmobile clubs always have the best snowmobile breakfasts, which the funds from a breakfast actually go towards the clubs. So if you want some really good food, go to the club breakfast. And those are found on vilas.org. And some of them may also have a dinner in the evening. But not just speaking for snowmobile clubs, but there's always something going on. A lot of places are having snowshoe trail walks in the evening, so it's by candlelight. And because our trail systems are so, they're in the forest, it's so gorgeous. It really is. And then there's things going on according to the moon phases so that you can see our beautiful skies. One of the things we talk about all the time is that, especially on the cooler winter evenings in this county, the skies are so beautiful. It's probably one of the few times people that don't see the skies all the time get to view it. And between the moon and the stars, it is just so good for your soul, actually. Yeah. Being outside and just seeing the skies, you just can't beat that. And so there's always recreational events taking place, and you can come up and join in if you don't really care for snowshoeing, but you would just like to be out. They always have an area where you can just sit and enjoy a campfire. Yes, we have those outside too, yet. A campfire, and just look at the night skies. I mean, it may sound boring, but once you see them, it's amazing.
It's gorgeous. Well, excellent. Anything else you two would like to include just for listener FYI, or anything that you think we might have missed?
Well, I think one thing that we haven't touched on is when you use, especially the snowmobile trails, you're riding on the trail, but they have signs out there that tell you about places to eat, and just they're informational signs, and they're fantastic. So if you're not familiar with the area and you want to find a new and exciting place to eat, the clubs do a great job of having those informational boards. And Brian, maybe you can speak about that.
Yeah, we last year we installed directional maps in 10 different areas of our snowmobile system. They're big, large wooden boards with maps on them. So it's a secondary place to look at a place to where you want to go and find a place to warm up. And it just is helpful to people that come here. We got snowmobile signs posted everywhere, but it's not far to find something on the trail when you are riding, and it just makes it easier for everybody when they come up here.
Excellent.
And all the trails are well marked. And something we just need to restate is, can you talk, Brian, a little bit about the lake crossings?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, when we mark trails, we mark them for obviously a reason. And if you're not from the area, it's important to follow the trails. And we do have a lot of lakes in Vilas County that are marked, and that is indicated by barrels on the lakes. And it's very important to stay within 10, 20, 30 feet of those barrels and not veer off course. In Eagle River, we have a moving water system with the chain of lakes, and there are areas of the lake that are thin, so you don't want to be off trail. And people have fallen through the ice because they haven't followed the trail on the lake. So it's really important to follow the barrels straight across the lake, and they're there for your safety.
That's interesting. I guess I never realized that you always see the snowmobilers like flying across the lake willy-nilly, and I guess I never really thought about it.
Yeah, it's really a critical item to follow the lake mark crossings and not get off them. I mean, unless you're very familiar with the lake, we encourage that everybody stay right by the barrels. Because in Eagle River, like I said, the chain is always moving, and the water is fluctuating on level all the time. And when it moves, you can lose inches of ice in the channels really quick, and there are no snowmobile crossings in the channels. They're all on secure places of the lake. Right now we have anywhere between probably 18 and 24 inches of ice right now. So it's going to be a while before that goes away, but you do not want to get very far off course. And if you stay by the barrels, you're safe.
Right. And we have 4 chains of lakes in the county. And so you really want to make sure, especially with lake crossings, that you really, well, with all areas, you want to make sure you follow the marked trails. They are well marked. Everything is. But, all you have to do is go off even a trail in the woods. And it can be dangerous. And it just, landowners, there's a lot of private landowners that the trails go over. And so you just want to make sure you stay on the marked trails at all times. And there is one more thing that I didn't...
Go ahead, Cindy.
There's one more. Oh, sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
No, you're okay. No, go ahead.
Oh, one of the other things that we have on our app is for certain items, outdoor recreational items up here, you do need a certification. So if you look on the snowmobile, any of the snowmobile information, you'll see there's a direct link to certifications. Anyone that was born January 1st, 1985, the whole year of 1985 and after, you need a snowmobile certification. So you need a certificate. Oh. And on our app and on our website, we have links to the Wisconsin DNR, and they link to classes you can take online.
That's awesome.
So, and it's the same thing with a lot of different motorized sports up here. You do need a safety certification, and then you need to carry that with you. And so I don't think a lot of people know that, especially the ones that are from out of state.
That was a law that was a law that was changed just a couple years ago, in putting that into effect. And what I was going to say about the landowners is the state of Wisconsin has almost 27,000 miles of snowmobile trails, and without private landowners, there wouldn't be a trail system. And we just want to remind everybody you stay on the trail and don't go off on the private property, because that is marked as a trail. They're allowing us to use that trail on their property, and we can sometimes lose trails because people are not staying on the trails. So I'm just basically talking about the private landowners, and we thank them for letting us use their property throughout the years.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you guys find a lot of people who are real disrespectful on the trails? Just curious, like, are there a lot of litterers? Are there just people being rude? Like, are there road rage incidents like on your snowmobile?
There's really not. We find a few instances, but things that we have done in the Snowmobile Club is to maybe put an extra sign up saying private property or please stay on trail or whatever. But people are very respectful when they see the groomers. They stop and get out of the way. They're always very, very kind. I mean, I don't find hardly any issues with that type of so-called road rage incidents, but I'm sure they're out there, but I don't see them very often, and I ride a little bit, and I see it when I groom at night that people are very respectful.
Excellent.
Right.
Just curious.
I'm sure it's like anything else. You always have a couple of them, but we focus on, when you compare it to all of the people that ride the trails, I think that they are, like Brian said, very respectful, and mostly respectful to the groomers and to other snowmobilers. And so it's a fun area to come up and ride your sleds.
Yeah, that's really cool. I got to get up there. I've been up to that area for other things, and I need to get up there and go snowmobiling. I think next year that's on the list.
Well, you have until March 31st of this year.
I know. I was looking at the calendar. I'm like, and maybe squeeze one in.
And Carrie, you would just fall in love.
I know.
There is nothing more. I just think it's good for you to be out in nature, and then to be on a sled and be out in the forest area. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, especially right now with all that snow-laden trees.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That whole area up there by you, I swear, is just a sweet spot of Wisconsin, in my opinion. I'm sure all the other CVBs that I've worked with are now being like, okay, so we need to have a chat. But it's the truth. It is the truth, that whole area.
Well, we think so, but I think we're a little prejudiced because we live up here. Right. But that's why we live up here.
Right, exactly. All right, well, again, thank you, Cindy Burzinski, Director of Vilas County Tourism and Publicity. You can find out more about Vilas County on vilaswi.com. And Brian Scheid, Trail Boss, which is an awesome title, at Sno-Eagles Snowmobile Club. You can find more about their club at Sno-Eagles, SNOEagles.org. I thank you both so much for coming on to the show and talking to us about snowmobiling and just sharing a little bit about how great your area really, truly is.
Well, thank you very much for having us, Carrie.
Yeah, definitely.
Great, thank you. We look forward to people coming up riding.
Yes, definitely. And that'll do it. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to find the show on iTunes. Just search for HuntFishTravel Podcast and hit the subscribe button. You can also follow me on social media. You can find HuntFishTravel on Facebook, or you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Carrie Zylka, CarrieZylka.